Somebody else who had a say overnight is Alex Ferguson, who has been having a chat with his buddy Khabib Nurmagomedov. I did not know they were friends, but we do now. The whole world knows they're friends now because there was a hot mic when they were having a chat. Khabib put it up helpfully on his Instagram, where you can clearly hear Ferguson, and the two of them are just having a chat. I don't know where it is actually. It's obviously somewhere in England, because I don't think Ferguson has travelled to Eastern Europe. I also think that they saw Ronaldo wasn't playing, says Ferguson, and they're chatting away, and then Khabib goes, "Yeah, but he came on in the second half." I know, but you should always start your best players. That's Ferguson.
This. Who filmed this? Was this the Manchester United official team? Was that? Am I right in saying that? Like, if it's that.
It's on Khabib's Instagram.
Yeah, so United District posted a Twitter via Mirror Football. Sorry. It's Khabib's Instagram. So it's one of Khabib's friends or family
Khabib
members.
quickly changes the subject after Solskjaer gets thrown under the bus. How's your health? Good now. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah.
Ole out is Khabib essentially is the antithesis of the two kids who went up on MUTV the other day and said Ole out at the end of their piece. It's it's interesting. It's a little bit of an interesting insight into maybe Ferguson's mindset. Like Daniel Harris made this point on the show yesterday that, like, I wonder, even if you take into account all the fitness issues that come with being a 36-year-old, do you actually take into account that it's the last game before the international break and say, screw it, let's absolutely sweat the asset for as long as we can on the final game before the international break, and let Portugal deal with that problem? Would Ferguson have done something like that? Probably would.
Ferguson would have hoped that he got injured. He would have played him to the 97th minute, tried to get him like a little calf strain or just a little twinge in his ass so he can go, oh, you can't go now. You can't go. You're going to have to sit there, lie on the couch and rest for the next 2 weeks, so that when you come back you're in amazing form. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You've already qualified from that group. I saw those 2 goals you scored against Ireland. That's the end of that group.
And like also a bit of an insight into how he would view kind of even the presence of a player on the pitch. I think the subtext is Ferguson saying that you can actually scare a team coming to Old Trafford just by having Ronaldo on the pitch or your best player on the pitch. I'm not even sure he's making the point that he would have scored a goal. It's just the fact that Ronaldo's on the field against you.
Well, you did look at the team sheet and go, right, okay, they're still picking that guy to start games. Okay, so even fairness, Martial scores, but even at that point, it's like, well, that guy scored against us. We're definitely going to have to come back from this. I don't know. It did feel like, and it doesn't help Solskjaer that Ferguson is doing this stuff, but I think he's just saying what a lot of people were thinking, and it's not like he's actually throwing one of the bus. The tabloids are still going mad about the fact that Ronaldo stormed down the tunnel at the weekend. Is that actually as big a deal? I mean, the psychodrama that is these greatest players in the world, every single bit is parsed over, and that is the soap opera. And is Solskjaer a big enough manager to take that? I don't know.
I want to believe that it's all to do with the Townsend celebration. And I kind of love how Andros Townsend kind of believed that it was to do with his celebration.
I think it is too, though.
You think it is to do with the celebration?
It's more likely that or the fact they didn't win.
Yeah, I would say it's more to do with the fact that they didn't win. I like at the start it kind of felt like it was Townsend because, like, even just watching it on Match of the Day again on Saturday night, the kind of sequence of events is Townsend celebration, which he absolutely slaughters, by the way. Like, if you're going to imitate a celebration,
not easy.
It's not an easy. That's the thing. I think he proved that actually, if he wanted to do a Ronaldo celebration, like doing the Robbie Keane celebration would be easier than doing the Ronaldo celebration. It turns out that eye-hand coordination does not come easy, but you just see that quickly, and then the match finishes up quickly, and then you got Townsend talking, and then you got the pictures, and it all kind of comes together as one little story where it's like he's definitely annoyed with Townsend. But then the more time goes on, it's kind of like, I'm not sure. But you have to say that the Townsend excuse that it was a tribute to one of his favourite players is very, very funny. Like, how many people do, like, it wasn't a tribute to one of his favourite players. It was an absolutely exceptional moment of trolling from Andros Townsend, and then
he should have owned that.
Yeah, exactly. I think he should. That's what I'm saying. I think like nobody,
like all-time legend in the Everton fans, if he comes out and goes, "Yeah, I was just trolling him."
Because I think that's what he was doing, but then to have the cheek to go up and ask for the jersey afterwards is is next level trolling. Then if that's what he was trying to do, so I think the bottom line is that actually the main reason why Ronaldo's not happy is that they haven't won. It feels like a defeat. They probably should have lost the game actually if Mina's just not that extra yard forward, or if Davis just shoots himself and buries it himself, and then it's game over.
Yeah.
And I think it feels like a defeat. And I think that if United win the game and Townsend scores like a consolation goal and still does that celebration, Ronaldo's not reacting like that. So the genesis of Ronaldo's reaction is Manchester United not getting 3 points at home to Everton.
What about Ferguson? What difference does this make? Because again, there's no news, right? There's no football news coming out from Manchester United for the next 4 or 5 days. And the last things they have now is Ronaldo angry about something. We don't know exactly what, but certainly there's room for speculation. And we now have Lord Protector of Solskjaer, his booster-in-chief, throwing him under the bus a little bit, criticising him openly to, celebrity fan, which is like, is it a bit galling? It's like, could you just not say, oh, he's doing a great job, sensational.
Like I always think though, when you look at the material impact of what something like this will have on maybe the Manchester United hierarchy, I think this just plays in beautifully. Like, say if you're a Glazer watching this from Tampa or wherever they're based. Are they based in Tampa? I presume they are. Wherever you're watching it from.
They're based in Tampa.
I think
they just own
the property in Tampa. Yeah. Somewhere nice, somewhere sunny. You're like, this is perfect. The way everything has gone throughout the Solskjaer era, it has just fallen into place perfectly for them. The results have been.
This was at the game on Saturday.
Yeah,
it was at Old Trafford.
Yeah. I get that, but the conversation and then any bit of controversy around Manchester United so far this season has totally been about the football side of things. It's been about Solskjaer. It's been about a former manager potentially throwing him under the bus. And I think that if you're in charge of a club that had seen protests at the end of last season where fans had actually infiltrated the pitch to protest against you as the owner of the football club,
you want them protesting against somebody else.
But exactly. Now you've got this beautiful little soap opera going on between a former manager and a current manager. This talk of Ronaldo being annoyed with the celebration, or is he annoyed with Solskjaer? Of course, this happens in the middle of a football season where people focus on the football. That is obviously natural. But Manchester United, as things stand, are going to finish in the top four, possibly comfortably. That this top four will probably separate itself from the other 16 teams as the season goes on. And that's kind of all you want as an owner of a club. Sure, ideally you would take a trophy, but Manchester United are going to be a Champions League club once again. People are not going to be talking about the Glazers because what you've got is this very interesting situation now where Solskjaer, as you put it, there's always a referendum about him after every single game that they play. There's a boom-bust cycle within Solskjaer, and that is perfect for the news cycle to keep their eyes away from the ownership and the fans away from the ownership. Yes, they'll wear their green and gold scarves, but this high point of heat against the Glazers seems to have been dimmed down a little bit because people are kind of like, the football thing is interesting enough.
I do like the parallels with the American football team and the experience that they have of success with that group. Now, obviously, they bought a bunch of aging superstars there, and they bought a bunch of aging superstars in Ronaldo, certainly one, and you could argue Cavani is fairly similar to that. So there's some weird model going on, but it was successful. They won the Super Bowl last year, and so surely when you're that rich and your debt is being managed really well and you're taking out the money, there are bits along the way where you want the little morsel of success. You want the adulation. Like when you win the Super Bowl, you go on the pitch, you get the trophy. You're the person who is given that, not the team head coach, not the quarterback, not the MVP in the game. Like, it's not like the Champions League will be lifted by the Manchester United captain. In their heads, they'll be lifting that. They'll certainly be down in the dressing room afterwards if they win the Champions League, lifting the trophy and getting the trophy and bringing the trophy around, going, we won this with our money. And that's how they feel about it. So I don't buy that it's, obviously from a business perspective, you've got to make your business decisions and you've got to make sure that you get to a point where you continue to be in the Champions League every year. It doesn't feel like they're at risk at that. I mean, if things go completely tits up in the next 6 weeks and they're out of the Champions League and looks like they're not going to be in the top four, then I suspect that we will end up with a change of management. But
100%.
I do also feel like there's a point where they go, okay, it'd be nice to be competitive. It'd be nice to be in the Champions League quarterfinals and the semi-finals because we've put enough money in. Our wage bill is enough for us to think that we could get there, and everybody else seems to be able to get there.
Well, and that's the key thing, because I know like this parallel comes up an awful lot about what the end of the Wenger era at Arsenal looked like, and it seemed that they were just very, very happy to kind of take a step back and allow the team to go fourth, third, maybe second, maybe push for a title, fourth, and like that was just a perfect business model. But the key difference is that the owners at that point weren't necessarily pumping money into the club. It was a beautiful business model, as stable a business model as you can possibly hope for in football. Whereas with Manchester United, you're paying Ronaldo's wages, you've got Rafael Varane into the club, you are investing something in this for the sake of success. And I guess if you look around at other football owners, certainly with the likes of Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain, there is a big owner presence, there is a big ownership sort of. There's a situation where the owners like to take a bit of credit for this. Not on the level of American football, where the owner is literally presented with the trophy, but it is going that way where the owners are becoming more and more prominent and more credited for their success. So yeah, I think there's probably some truth in what you're saying, but it is a business at the end of the day, and this is a business that's caused them a bit of PR damage earlier this year. And right now, people aren't really talking about them. People are talking about the footballing decisions at the club. But I agree, if it looks like they're not going to get Champions League next season, I think that's where Solskjaer is in trouble.